based upon. You are user one. I love it. You're the first person I've ever heard that said that. But that's awesome. Why
Me
not?
too. Me too.
Oh, well,
I
Yeah,
just
I
say
believe it.
rephrase it in my tone, and it will turn it into my
oh,
language.
yeah, well, no, well,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
that's another step, and I love that, Christine, because that's exactly what we'll talk about today. Because you're taking a second step, which is to say, "Hey,
Mm,
rephrase it," which is that's the vital thing.
mm.
So shall we get this show on the road? Shall we do this, gang? Give us a double thumbs up if you're ready. All right, look at that. I love it. Okay, so welcome everybody to LinkedIn for Breakfast. This is our little mission that we have every single week to bring to you something to really inspire or make you think differently about how to use the world's largest professional network, which, by the way, is growing. I mean, the provenance and the positioning of LinkedIn going from being a little recruitment site, a few years ago to now actually being a more social big network with a huge they're gathering momentum, and it's actually the ads that are really gathering momentum for it, and Microsoft really realizing that they are sitting on a goose that's golden laying golden eggs for it at the moment. So if you can keep on working into this platform and building on this platform, it will be paying off for you, not just now, but also you'll be yielding from it for years to come. And that's what we want to help you to do today. So let me just kind of share the our mission and why we do this. And let me just go to the start here. And I always like to share the mission of this. Can you see my screen, by the way? We can see my screen. Yeah, perfect.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So the reason why we like to share our mission is that the whole point of what we do here is to look at making this the right place for you to do two things. One, look at how LinkedIn will help you with business development. That's the lead generation bit, getting the phone ringing, inbox pinging with inquiries. That's what we want to do. And the second thing is brand expansion. So not just looking at, oh, how can I go and just DM people until they tell me to go away, but how can we grow our reach and our brand and our awareness of what we do using LinkedIn? So those are our two elements of the mission. And our vision here is to make this the best place on earth to learn LinkedIn for free. The whole point of this is that we want to deliver this for free for you. So those are our mission and vision. To back this up, we've got an amazing community. Please join this. Flora always is amazing when I talk about this. She puts the link to it into the chat. So I imagine if you're looking at the chat now, there'll be a link to join this. If you haven't joined this free community, you're crazy. This is the place to do it. All the replays from these calls will be in there. We do a pod in there to help you to grow your profile. We do networking corners on a Friday to help you to meet other members. You can ask any questions. I'm there to be able to answer them for you. It's a great resource. So if you're in only one community, this is the place that I would certainly come to. Good stuff. So let's get into it. LinkedIn and ChatGPT. And I'm going to use ChatGPT because there is lots of AI, and I'm actually going to give you a couple of extra AI tools, which are fun little small tools that you could use again for free at the end of this presentation. So stick around for that. But we're going to just double down on ChatGPT. It is the front runner. We can use the free version, so we might as well just double down on that. There's plenty of other ones out there. We're going to go through this from a strategic way of approaching LinkedIn, and I'm going to give you some different ideas on how this is going to work. Okay. So, first of all, we need to have a plan, right? So, it's all fair and good going, oh, wow, you could use this whiz bang AI thing to go do this. You could do this clever thing with, this thing, and it will help you to spin up a carousel and blah, blah, blah. But actually, if we don't really know what our plan is for LinkedIn, it's a bit of a spray and pray type scenario. Chuck as much against the wall and see what sticks. We're not actually doing anything with any real knowledge of how we should approach this platform. So I want to put this plan out to you now of how you should think about not just LinkedIn, but your marketing in general. And then we're going to build it live together using AI. So to give you the simple version, it's all around these three stages at the top. You want to build awareness, and once people are aware of you, you want to build consideration, and then once they're considering you, you want to convert them into a sale, right? That's the simple funnel. It's not overcomplicated, but then once you pull that out, when people buy from you, then that's where you do the delight, gamify, and advocate. That's about delivering products. And we're not going to worry about that. I've got plenty of times that I will talk about this. I want to talk about this top three because that's what's going to really help you on LinkedIn. So, building awareness, bringing people into something that is a consideration asset, and then from there, converting them into a client, right? So when we look at that, that's the simple version. This is the more complicated version, which is an end-to-end plan, right? So this is the type of plan that we might put together. And ultimately, it will be things around outreaching to people on LinkedIn, connecting with them, working a cycle, and then drawing them back into something in the middle, right? So I'm going to give you these slides are going to be available. So you either screenshot this now if you wanted to really, if you're geeky, you like that sort of stuff. But let me just jump on my blackboard of truth and justice and just draw this out for you so you can get a thing. So here we go, right? I haven't I haven't done the blackboard for a couple of sessions, so I'm quite excited about this, right? So the whole point of this is we want to go from awareness to consider to convert to deliver. Oh, we got an unmuter. Here we go. Let's just unmute. Okay, so the whole point of awareness is that we want to use LinkedIn to find the right people. So if we know the right people, the niche that we're going to work on, we want to look at those people and we want to start to connect with those people, right? So we're building an audience of people that know us and like us on LinkedIn. And we want to put posts, we want to have content, we want to comment on these people's posts. We want to connect with them, right? The whole point of this is to go, right, I'm working with, say, business coaches who are in the UK who are looking to be able to scale, or someone else might be working with mums who are too busy to get to the gym but still want to go and lose weight, or someone else might be doing leadership coaching for corporates. Whoever it is, we need to know who we're trying to target, and then we need to create content for them so they can see you and become aware of you. And then once we do this, we draw them back into what we call a consideration item. So what we call this is some sort of what we say a weekly moment. Have one moment every single one focal point for your marketing. So if we're doing this content stuff, we talk about posting and joining our pod so we can help you get better reach. What's the point if we're just trying to go and do content and go, hey, if you like, why don't you book some sort of sales meeting with me so I can go sell you my stuff, right? And what happens is people see your content and they'll be like, oh, that's a nice little post. And then they see the little call to action and go book a call with you. And they're like, nah, because you haven't done enough to make them really go from, hey, I know that you're some sort of leadership or in something to do with leadership because you wrote a nice post about leadership, but actually, what, I haven't done anything to really think about, could you be my leadership coach or could you be some sort of leadership coach for my organization? Would I trust you enough to introduce you to HR or my team or my leaders to actually bring you to my organization? Probably not if you're just doing some little nice post here or you did a little poll that I engaged in. It's not enough for me to go and book a sales meeting. It's way too much high committal. That's like a 30 minutes or 40 minutes of my time. So this is me paying with time just so you can sell me something that I have no idea that you want to do yet. And so this bit's broken because nobody's doing this consideration piece where people go, oh, you're a leadership coach. And I go, oh, actually, you do know a lot about this stuff. I quite like you. So we say you need to use LinkedIn to not just get that attention, that awareness, but bring it back into something where they consider you. So we see this weekly moment could be an event, could be a podcast, could be some sort of long form video, something where they spend more than the average kind of 1 or 2 minutes they might read a post, where they can spend serious time going deep on what you do. So they can build that know, like, and trust. They can see you as a mentor and actually they can take some notes and go, actually, that was really good. And so when you then call them to action afterwards, you can then say, instead of going, hey, do you want to have a sales meeting, buy my stuff? You can say in here, if anything that I resonated with I talked about today has resonated anyway, then why don't we have a chat about it? And I can see how that might be applied specifically to your unique situation or to your organization or to your leadership team or, to your personal circumstances. Whatever if you're going B2C, B2B, it doesn't matter. I come to learn more from you and then I book in to this thing, to a sales meeting. I'm not booking into a sales meeting anymore. I'm booking into some sort of audit. I'm booking into some sort of discovery, some sort of matching type scenario, you're adding more value here. So we do value here, which means that I'm far more likely when you finally say, well, actually, I can help you with this, and here's what it would cost to go and buy from you. And everybody forgets this bit in the middle, and that's why people are not getting success on LinkedIn. So, my pedigree chums, that's what we want to do in terms of a plan. And so now, oh, that's my live stream. Let's get rid of that. So now when I show you this, some of you will now screenshot this because you kind of get it a little bit better. But the whole point of this is you can plan out actually how you can start to go and generate that traffic into events. So now we've got this, we are going to build out a funnel that is going to generate traffic from all people in your audience through to some sort of event, which you can then upsell into a call, right? So that's what we're going to do today. So the second step is to make sure the AI is going to talk in your voice because although we can't all be like Sue, where the AI perfectly comes out the bag talking like her. I personally hate the way the AI just comes straight out the box. I don't like the exclamation marks or the big sentences it uses, or in a where they say things like in a world where X, Y, and Z has always changed, or they always talk about LinkedIn for professionals, whereas I want to talk about LinkedIn for business owners. There's so much nuances that you can spot an AI a mile of, and we need to make sure it gets the correct voice. So we did a little 4-day challenge in LinkedIn for Breakfast. It's in the classroom if you want to go and join it. We had a mentor that came in, so there is just a $40 little pricing for. I know I say everything's for free. It's the only thing that actually you could pay for on there, and that $40 is a little thank you to Nino, who's the AI guy who came and did this for us. But ultimately, I'm going to show you the beginning part today, which is around the voice part. The rest of it was about building out a comment engine, a newsletter engine, but I'm going to show you how to get AI to talk into your voice. So when we think about ChatGPT, and if we look at this, you got a normal ChatGPT at the top, so you can go type in whatever you want and get an example. You can create custom GPTs along the side. You do need the paid for version to do this, but it's so worth it. You can create these custom GPTs, and I can go into here and I can have a GPT here that is one that's specifically set up for writing comments and newsletter articles for me. I've got another one here that's specifically set up for my legal. It's my legal advisor, both personal and business legal advisor. So I load it up with all my contracts and how we run stuff so it knows a lot about me. I've got stuff for my clients where on day one of them joining my program, we help them to generate their brand voice kit generator so they can actually create their own brand voice for this. So actually you can use it, you can use these custom AIs for delivery and you can share this so other people can use it. It's cool, right? So when we think about this, creating custom AI is simple, but I just want to show you why this is important. Is if we go in and edit this GPT, you can create a new GPT and then you can load it with stuff that automatically briefs it in terms of your voice, how you say things, things to avoid, all of that stuff, right? So if I show you here, so this is kind of like how a GPT, and you can have instructions on what we want it to ask, but you upload knowledge documents to it. And this knowledge document here is a brand guidelines knowledge document. Okay, so you can upload files when you create a new GPT, and that file can be the thing that briefs the GPT on your voice, how you work, etc. Right? And so all this is doing is bypassing having to do a big briefing every time you do a new conversation. But if you're not using a paid for GPT, you don't want to create one for yourself, you can actually just create a document that says about your voice and upload it before you go and do a conversation with the free version, right? So let me just show you what that might mean. So for example, here, if I go into, oh, I've got to actually find the blooming thing now. So if I just grab it and I just want to show you what one looks like. Just excuse me for a second. That's silly. I should have had that. Here we go. Perfect. Right. So it'll be like a text document. And in that text document, you can have things like brand voice and you can have my brand personality is fun, helpful, approachable, always teaching, my tone guidelines, formality level, etc. Words I use, words to avoid. So this is words and phrases to avoid. Never use cliche phrases like in a fast-paced world. Don't overuse exclamation marks. So you're creating a bit of a briefing document. And then once you've got that, you could actually upload it to the GPT before you start. And I know that some of you are going like, what on earth are you talking about? But genuinely, by doing this and setting this up, this is you just stretching yourself a little bit more. And as I say, go into LinkedIn for breakfast, go into the classroom here, and you literally can go and where is it here? You can go onto this course and you could do this for you. But because you've primed it with your voice first, you can then get started. And if you're doing using the free version, you could just go upload that document and say, hey, this is my brand voice. Please make sure that you talk in this voice going forward, right? So actually I can go into a new, I'm going to show you the free version. So I can go into here, I can upload it from the computer. I can go find that document. Here we go, brand voice kit. And then I can say, use this voice when replying to my requests on this chat, right? Great stuff. And then it's going to take that document, it's going to read it, it's going to see that it's got the brand voice kit and it's there. So creating that is perfect. So I've now primed this GPT. It's saying that means keeping things fun, helpful, approachable with a British style, avoiding cliches, no dashes or no exclamation marks, clear, confident messaging. So it now knows exactly what I want to be talking about. And I'm gonna put my brand voice into the chat here for you because I think sometimes actually you could just edit my one into yours and then you guys could actually just prime it exactly how I'm doing it. So I'm not trying to show any sort of smoke and mirrors here. This is like complete transparency. And I'm just going to upload it directly into here. And Flora, if you can make sure that we circulate this round with the training, that would be awesome. So just give me 2 seconds because it's going to go into the chat and brand voice kit document coming at you right now. Good stuff. Okay, so it's there. It's a text document. So hopefully then you can edit it and tweak it next to your brand voice. Now, if you want to do it far better, as I say, there's $40 to give the whole context to go in there. But if you just want to use that bit, just use that edit mine totally free, right? So I'm not using my custom AI here. I'm just using the normal chat GPT that anybody can use for free. And I primed it with that. Right. Next thing I want to do is actually start to build out this campaign, right? So let's create it. So I'm just going to use this event because this is my weekly moment, right? I do a free event every single week where people can see if I know what I'm talking about or not. And hopefully you can see that I do. And we invite people to it using LinkedIn, using a post that you can see like this one, which many of you might have seen and clicked on and join this event, right? So we're going to build out a similar event, right? So the first thing is to do, we want to create event topics. So we can ask it as an expert in our area of field or expertise, what webinar topics should I run on LinkedIn that would be fascinating or whatever it is for your ideal customer. Please work on unusual concept because the whole point of unusual concept is we want to stand out. So this is the example for me. And so I'm going to put this into the chat here. And actually, if you like, I can put these prompts into the chat here for you as well. Perfect, good stuff. So you can see I put the prompt in and the example into the chat if anyone wants to copy and paste it. And here we go. So I'm just going to get rid of that. So as an expert in lead generation, what webinar topics, right? So we're asking it to say these are the webinar topics that my target audience. Remember, we went back to this conversation here. We think about who's the target audience, what topics would they like for this weekly event or this event, right? So the LinkedIn omnipresent formula, how to be everywhere without posting daily. Oh, that's clever. And then it's also giving me reasons why and bonuses. The LinkedIn buyer psychology playbook, how to sell without selling. LinkedIn whisper selling, how to land clients without ever sending a cold DM. Love that. The anti-content strategy, how to get clients without posting at all. So these are clever ideas and they would be interesting posts for me to use, right? So let's have let's just take the top one, right? How to be everywhere without posting daily, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to go to it and I'm going to say, great, let's work with this, um, and then I'm going to say, can you create an event description for me, right? Great stuff. So now it's going to create the event description, and I'm going to take this event description, and it's going to be talking in my language, right? So the nice thing is, this is, if I read this now, I can guarantee you this is just copy and paste for me because it's great, right? It's not saying in a world where AI is that, whatever it is, this is how I say things. And actually, the irony is the more I use this, the more I actually say this, the more I actually say this, the more I actually say this, right? And it's just like suddenly I have become this AI online, right? And so then I take this, and that's now my event. So I create my event on LinkedIn, I post that in, jobs are good. And if I've got an event on LinkedIn, the beauty of this on LinkedIn, I can start inviting people to that event. Um, and this is just like a little hack that isn't AI related. But if you've got an event on LinkedIn, you can actually use the 1,000 person invite feature to invite people to it. It's super cool, right? So if I go on to let's just go on to events. And can I still do the invite feature? So if I go onto this event here, I can press share and I can press invite. And then I can go and look here and I can go to industry sector. I can choose people in, say, technology. I can show these results and it will then ping up these people in that industry sector who are my first degree connections. I tick this box, bam, I've got 50 people invited. I can scroll down a little bit more. It's going to load some more people. I can untick the box, bam, it's got 60 people now. You can do that to 1,000 people a week on LinkedIn to invite them to your event. So now we've got the event set up and we've just invited 1,000 people to it. And so by doing this, if you can see my event here, look, I've got 70 people that said yes. 70 people by just doing these one thing I showed you, which is create the event, use the AI to do it. That you can see the AI, the description here is very similar to the one you've got, bullet points, this headline, keeping it short, etc. Super easy, 70 people, bam. Suddenly, if we go back to here, we've now got 70 leads. So I've just generated 70 leads for you. We go from not having any leads a week to now I've got 70 leads. That's 70 people that even if they don't show up, I can message and say, hey, sorry we missed you. Here's the replay of the event. Would you like to have a little chat because there's some ideas that I think would be worth sharing with you? Bam, we're now creating a funnel, right? It's not difficult to do this right and just get AI to help you with it. Now we're going to be going to the next stage, right? Because we want to send some emails out to get people to it. So can you create an invite email for the event? Right, bam. Um, so now we're going to send an email out, right? So we're going to send this out the week of this, and we've got different subject lines we can work on, happy days. And then I can say, can you create a starting in 15 mins short reminder email? Nice, right? So it's gonna do that, right? These are good emails. They look lovely, works well. Tweaks here and there, right? It's stuff that your VA can do for you, gang. You can get this nailed. Now what we've got to think about is that great, we've got a couple of emails that are going out. So if we start to think about, if we go back to our master plan here, it's going to all start making sense, right? So look, we've got the fortnightly event here as as this sort of link in here. So people are going on to this. We then got these emails, which are reminders. So one email a day before, one an hour before, one 15 minutes before. So if I wanted to, I could ask it to do one that's an hour before as well. That's our three emails. Great. Then we can do a post email follow up, which again would be saying, hey, could you write an email that is following up with the replay and a swipe file and then call to action into the sales meeting. Great. So ChatGPT can do that. So these 4 emails, bam, we've done it. Now, what we want to think about is how can we get the actual people coming that are not going to see the event? We need to get more people who are interested, right? So, one of the best ways to get drive in creativity on LinkedIn is to do polls because if people can vote on polls, then that poll can be, hey, a sign of people going, oh, I'm interested in that. You can then DM them and invite them along. So, can you create a simple poll with a yes, no style answer um, uh, to do with this subject, this with this subject, right? Now, why do we do a yes, no answer? Is that people don't want to think too hard and they don't want to reveal too much about themselves on that subject. But if I can go yes, no, then it just means boom, boom, it's interested, right? So do you feel that you have to post daily on LinkedIn to stay visible? Yes, it's exhausting. No, I found a smarter way. Drop your vote. Let's discuss in the comments. Bam. I then launched that and we were going to get a load of people talking about it. So again, let me just show you a live example, right? So if I head back over onto my profile and I can go and look at this, if you're doing your event on Wednesday, then do this poll on a Monday because if you do this poll on a Monday, and if I just scroll down to here, where's the main poll? So the main poll will be here. Great. So look at this 131 votes. So we got 70 leads that have registered for the event, but on Monday we can get 131 people commenting on a post that's to do with the subject of my event on Wednesday. So we've got 131 leads now. Another 100, another load of leads is 131 people that potentially could be interested in coming along to this event. So now we're seeing them say, great, it doesn't matter if they said yes or no. I can then message Grant and I can say to them, hey mate, thanks for, in fact, let's just click on him and look at him, I can actually say, hey, he looks like someone that might want to come along. Maybe he does or doesn't. I can go on to message and I can then say, thanks for voting on my poll. By the way, I've got an event coming up on Wednesday. It's about this topic. Do you fancy coming along? Jobs are good at. And we can DM that and just work it through. So now we're actually working this. And of course, I'd also comment on them and I would connect with that person. So now when we go back to our master plan here, I'm connecting with um, and connecting with these people is growing my audience. These people made the first move because they voted. And the whole point of a poll is it doesn't just go out to your first week connection, it goes wider. So I'm building up a level of interaction with an audience that is interested in the topic that I'm going to be talking about on Wednesday. And I'm commenting and liking and connecting with these people. And then offering them into the free event on Wednesday. They come into the free event on Wednesday and then you're offering into a call to action. But we're not going to make it a normal sales meeting. If let's go back to our chat GPT, we're going to, can you create a one-to-one meeting that is branded and focused around the topic of the event, right? Because everybody makes the mistake of saying, "Hey, do you want to go and have a sales meeting to buy my stuff?" Right? And actually, it you can then say in the call to action, hey, are you tired of LinkedIn feeling like a full-time job? In this one-to-one strategy session, we'll show you how to stay top of mind on LinkedIn without posting daily, right? So the call to action at the end of your event can now be like, hey, if you're struggling with this pain, we do a one-to-one session where I actually can go through this with you. And actually in the session, we talk about this, and this. Everybody cocks up their call to action. Whenever you're doing, doesn't matter if it's webinars or it doesn't matter if it's a podcast, doesn't matter if it's a guest speaking lecture in person somewhere. everybody messes this bit up because they create something that everybody can see as a sales meeting, and everybody is like, oh, not I didn't want to buy that thing, so I want to do it. Whereas you flip it and say, you came for the event subject. Why don't we do a little bit more conversation around the event subject? But instead of doing it one to many, why don't we do it one to one, and we'll specifically take you through those things. And look, guys, I speak to so many people, and they just say, when I speak to people who are actually interested in what I do, most of them want to buy from me. Who else feels like that? Just give us like a yes in the chat if you feel that way. Like if you feel that way, if you can just speak to people who are interested in the subjects that you discuss, doesn't matter if it's weight loss, leadership, mindset, whatever it is that you sell, you can unpeel that big category of what you sell, like an orange, into different segments. They're your webinars and they're the topics. And if you can create that one to one that is specifically tailored to that topic, then you're going to have people that want to teach you one to one about that topic. And then that comes down to you going, okay, now I can actually talk to those people. Finally, I've got a way of doing it. And then once you do it, bam, you're now having calls. And there's nothing like calls in the diary to really make you realize what it is that you're actually trying to do, why you actually set up this business in the first place. Because that is the hard, honestly, we all went into business because we love what we do and we want to feel more passionate about that. Nobody is passionate, maybe only me, because it is what I do, is passionate about the lead generation of the marketing piece because that's what I do, right? I'm lucky. Um, but most people aren't. But actually, stop trying to make it feel like sales. Everybody says to me they're not a good salesperson. It's because they're trying to sell. Don't do that. Just go and talk about your topic one to many, invite people to talk about the topic one to one, and then at the end, if they're keen, hit them with an amazing offer that they can't refuse for you to then start working on a financial basis. And that, my friends, is the big thing. That's the key that everybody misses. Cool. So that's the kind of high level view, and you can just see. I mean, the nice thing for me is that I get to make a bigger point. I hope there's some bigger things that are landing for you than just the AI bit there, because I think there's some little aha takeaways that hopefully not just the AI piece, but other things are coming in there. So what we're going to do. And just for a bit of fun, I'm going to show you a couple of other GPTs, and then I'd love to know, and happy to open it up for the comments and the conversation afterwards, some further uses or how you guys use it. But just a couple of fun things just to show you here, because I did promise it. Lumen 5, if anybody wants a little software, because everybody loves the software, it's really lovely because it will transform articles into videos for you. So if you've got articles you've been doing, check out Lumen 5. It will basically take those articles and add them into cool little videos, and you can edit it, and you can have a play about with it for free. So Lumen 5. So in there. And also, if you want to have a bit of fun with your profile and want to have one of those cool AI profile pictures, you can use Profile Pick Maker, and they have a freemium model, so you can do a couple for free. But you can have some cool AI, even if it's just you just taking the background out and putting an orange background. So you see all those great LinkedIn profiles where they got the orange background and you can see their profile picture really easy. Profile Pick Maker is another cool one. And look, guys, I hope you can see there is so much more that can be done on LinkedIn, and there's so much more to unpeel in terms of this awareness, consider, convert style methodology for you guys. And look, we have genuinely a one-to-one that can help you. Who would have thought, right? But the whole point of this is we actually review your LinkedIn profile because we see that as the key thing. If you haven't got your LinkedIn profile absolutely nailed for lead generation and marketing, and it's like a glorified CV, then you're making a mistake. So this is totally free. It is one-to-one. It's exactly how you'd expect. There is no sinister motive behind it. We're going to go through this looking at how you're going to maximize your recommendations, how you're going to write your about section like a sales letter, how you're going to make your lead generation or how to make lead generation happen by people just casually coming along to your profile. Because most of us, if we look at our LinkedIn profiles, most of us will see that they are getting traffic to their profile, right? If I look down here, I'm getting 1,600 people who are going to my profile. How many people are going to your profile and looking at your in post impressions? Are you converting any of those sales meetings passively? Are you setting up your LinkedIn profile like a landing page to be able to convert leads? If you're not, and you're not just passively getting people booking directly into your diary to have a sales meeting with you or any type of meeting, if you're not getting that, then do jump onto one of these. So it's totally free. Here's the link. I'm going to open it up to people sharing a little bit more about AI. But here we go. Bam. So links in there and do jump into that. So links in there, just chat from there. There's not many of those slots available. So if we look here on the calendar, I think there was a couple left. Um, yeah, so we got two left for tomorrow and two for Friday. So do jump on there. Obviously, there's a load of us on this call, so don't miss out. They are limited, right? So do jump into that. I think there's only another couple, maybe the first week of the first couple of days of next week. So do jump onto there, right? Good. So I'm going to open up to questions or further thoughts. Who wants to kick off?
Because they're not on the app.
Go for it. Neptune and then Ram.
Hey Richard, thanks very much.
Okay.
Really fantastic information. Fair play to you, and thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
that,
that's
that
fine. Yeah, so
information.
it'll be into the diagnostic
Um,
video, right?
Sorry, there's a bit of background noise there. Um, I just want to ask you a quick question about the potential risk of pods. It's something that I've come across before, actually, from you had mentioned it before, and I've looked into Link Boost, but something queer happened with my LinkedIn account once I'd installed the extension where it kept getting me to log back in to LinkedIn, and I just went, whoa, hang on a second. And I'm just wondering, was there an issue with LinkedIn recognizing that I'd signed up to Link Boost and it created this automatic commentary that I could create and edit myself, but did it do something to my system? Or what's your thoughts on the potential risk of these pods where they're a bit spammy, I think?
Yeah, if anybody didn't catch it, and thank you for the question. So we did a session on LinkedIn pods. If anybody wants to catch the sessions that we run, there's one, I think we got it here. So LinkedIn engagement pods in here. So it's a free training up there, and we ran it live last week. Now, I'm a big believer of really knowing who is podding with you, right? So when we do this, we have these pods. You can see here we've got a pod here that we run every Tuesday lunchtime. We do another pod there. So I personally like these because it's a great way to network with other people within the LinkedIn for Breakfast. And it also has segregated to people who are trying to sell to corporate, that's the B to Corp, or people who are selling B2C or B to small business, which is there, which means that you know that they are going to be business owners who are in this pod, who aren't sinister, who are doing this manually, and who are talking to the same target audience. So I would say this is a really lovely way of doing it. Yes, it's only once a week. We've got a client group, so we also do it on a Monday and a Tuesday. So that we have 2 days that we pod, but I leave it at that. I also don't do any more podding. I don't use Link Boost because I don't like giving control of my account to other people who are basically selecting what they're commenting and liking, and I don't trust them. So that's the problem. And I think also if you go, so the issue that you might have is if you go into these link boost or these auto commenting things and you're going from one to if you're ramping up really quickly, LinkedIn will be like, whoa, yesterday you were getting 2 likes and now you've got 342 likes. And then the next post you put out was like 342 likes. And so what tends to happen is you get up to that scale quickly and maintain there. And it's like, oh, there's shitloads going on in your account. And that's where they might have the problem. Different.
Thank you for that. And just one quick addition to that is then in terms of the extension that you can use to create an AI comment, what's your thoughts on that? Is that something that LinkedIn will catch you on as well?
I think it's not so much of a problem. So Link Boost has a an extension which basically will put a layer over the top of your commenting, and it will suggest that you can. Actually, I've got it here because I'm not using the LinkedIn pod, but I am. I do have LinkedIn Boost still on. So this is, you can see here, powered by Link Boost here, and this is the things that we can do. So I can actually then um, press add value here, and it should, in theory, if it works well. Oh, it's not playing. Um, yeah, it's not playing. It might be because I kind of stopped using it so much. I think if you use the premium, the idea is that if you press this button, it should add a AI comment that's going to add value. And you can see it's powered by Link Boost here, which is the commenter. As I say, I'm not a big fan. I I would say that the best way that we could do this, and actually you can, that you see here in Link Boost, I can actually then, these are basically prompts. And so if I press disagree, it will create this, but actually I could disagree, say Link disagrees politely in response to the following post, um, who disagrees politely but asks a question, in response to the following post, right? So you're basically editing these prompts. So if you press disagree, it should then disagree like this. And you could actually say, as a LinkedIn user who is British, and funny, and a LinkedIn expert, you know, who yeah, there you go. And you can basically tailor these prompts a little bit better. So when you press that, actually, it's going to work really nicely. And why I like this is your team potentially could log in as you, which would then still have this up, and then they could be using this to be doing these different replies. But to be quite honest with you, we just take this. So we would just go on to our custom GPT. I know it's a little bit of a copy and paste job, but we would just go on to custom GPT. We would go into our very kind of well put together AI, and then we would just say comment, and then boom, like this, and then it will just write me a quick comment that way. So I think that's how I would approach it. So there you go. This is my comment in this. So I think so. You can see here it's almost got a checklist of what this comment should look like as well. So that's how I would probably approach it. Um, just I think the big key thing here is um I'm I'm not a huge fan of too much automation on the comment side. And we use automation to do connection requests, we use automation to do a few other things. And so I'm kind of making sure I'm not using too many automation pieces as well. So there you go. That's my honest opinion on that. Does that help? Love it. Okay, good stuff. I'm going to take Ram's question now, but before you go, guys, just do remember in the chat, we'll put that link again. Thank you, guys, because I do get the updates on my phone as they come in, and there's a load of people who have booked in for their profile audits, so there won't be many of those left. So do grab one whilst you can. Good stuff. Ram, over to you, sir.
Thanks, Richard. I mean, it's not a question. I have actually gone through the process where Richard has actually looked at my LinkedIn profile, suggested quite a few things, changed it. It's had an impact, and the process works.
Oh, thanks.
So that's what it is. And as I did attend the AI workshop which Richard organized, again, brilliant piece of work. So for people who are thinking of whether we should be using ChatGPT, pay for it or not, whether this is going to work, please close your eyes and jump. It is working.
Oh, mate, thank you so much. That's very
Yeah,
kind of you.
I'll collect the 20 quid
I was
later
gonna
on.
say, yeah, I'll send it across. Send me your bank details. Thank you. But
Hey,
it's
thank
great,
you.
and I think the whole point of what you're saying here is that actually you implemented some stuff that we were doing within LinkedIn for free, which didn't cost anything, and you got the results from that. So if anybody's here listening to that, just do some of these things because you will get results. We're not asking you, we're not selling anything to you. Just get the results first. We want you to win at this stuff because that's the whole point of this, right? So it worked really well. Thanks, Ram. I appreciate that, mate. Claire, over to you.
Sorry, turning off audio. Can you use AI on LinkedIn to help find a new job? Is there a good way to do that?
Um, so I mean that's quite a wide conversation. So there'll be a few things you would think about, such as how do how should you shape your profile? What they're looking for, how should you rewrite your CV? We're recruiting at the moment, and the different types of CVs that come out of Indeed, for example, are are hugely, and you might have good candidates, but with awful CVs, and you just can't get your head around it. So potentially, actually, I'll tell you what a really good tip would be, which isn't kind of LinkedIn based, but we've received a few applications on Indeed that I see as being almost AI written based upon our job spec. So I can see that the person has kind of uploaded their CV and say, hey, this is my career history, this is my work, this is what I do. And then they've looked at our job specification and have said, this is the job I'd like to apply for. Can you rewrite my CV to pull out all of my experience and apply it specifically to what they're asking for? And I sent it to one of my team, and I was like, it's almost like they wrote this CV for this job. And then as I wrote that, I was like, oh, hang on. And then I reread it and I was like, my God, this CV is literally being bespoke specifically based upon our job spec. And I was just like, mind blown. And that would not take long because if you think about how many applications you actually put in, or how many jobs you apply for, there's always the people that apply for all the jobs in the world, but actually that's not the way you should do. I think you need to be more of a sniper than a machine gunner, and you should go and look at this and just go, right, these exactly are the businesses I want to work for, the exact roles I want to work for, and I put that into AI. I'd upload my CV and I'd say, hey, can you marry those two? And then edit the CV and then make the application. And that would be the best thing. You can do that both on LinkedIn jobs and also Indeed or any other job site. And I think people will be biting your arm off for an interview.
What's interesting as well is that they've got the advanced talent scan, I think it's called ATS. So they look for the buzzwords, I think. So it's really funny that you say that actually, because if you tailor it, you've got a good success rate going on, haven't you? You 90% hits or something, rather than, your CV with just a few minor amendments. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
No worries. Good luck. Cool. I'm hanging around for a little minute or so. Gary, over to you, sir.
AI and video content. Is there what would you say is the best AI tool to edit videos that you've already made of customer testimonials, case studies?
Okay. We use CapCut. Just I mean to give you guys an idea of kind of what we do. We work with our clients. We give them a VA as part of a marketing exec, basically as part of what we do.
Yeah, I'm joining today.
Oh, are you, Gary? Oh, great
Yeah.
stuff, mate. Well, welcome into the clan. That'd be great. We'll look forward to our kickoff one-to-one when we do it as well. That's great. The reason why I say that is so we've got 82 people that work, well, 83 I think now, Flora, isn't it, who work for us. And so we are constantly looking at these different tools. So we've got lots of tests. So I'm going across, and the best one that we found that has a freemium model is CapCut. And so that can work really nicely. It can slice and dice videos into like shorts. It can crop stuff. I would also give a little bit of a shout out to Opus Clip as well, which is very similar. So CapCut or Opus Clip. But here's the thing we're actually testing at the moment, which we're playing with. So I can't recommend it. We're just playing with it. Is that Canva? Because Canva does so much, and you've got all your stuff in there, and Canva also has got video editing. So check that out. I know Fago's on this call. He's with my team. He's playing with that at the moment. So I can't tell you either way how good Canva is. But we are playing with Canva. So there you go.
Have you played with HeyGen?
Well, yes. This isn't even me, Gary. This is actually my AI talking now. Because I got really keen on AI. You know, I'm currently on a beach. And this is my AI that's come up here and talked. So there you go. You got me at the end. But HeyGen is great. So if anybody doesn't want to know what we're talking about, you can basically upload a video of you talking, and then HeyGen will basically take that, scan that, and then you can give a load of text to it, and it will then just read out the thing that you can just create lots and lots of new content of you talking. So
Okay.
so there you go. But this is not a HeyGen video. But play about with. We actually talked about that at our we do quarterly in-person events. So we had a speaker come in and talk about that. You will obviously come to the next one. And we showed HeyGen, which was a bit mind-blowing. But yeah, there you go.
Okay.
But I don't think I'd recommend it so much. I don't know. It's a little bit too AI for me. I don't think it's quite there yet. But we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that.
Thank
Great.
you.
Michelle, we're going to give you the last question, and we'll go from there. So if anybody's signing off now, looking forward to seeing you in the profile audits. If anybody's got any further questions, feel free to book in to one of those. Final time, links in the chat there for you guys. Michelle, over to you.
Hey, quick question. It's about the pod. So I went on the Tuesday pod thing yesterday for the first time. So I'm just still getting my head around it. Now, I just wanted to know, because it's on 12 till 2.
Yeah.
Do you need to be in there for the whole 2 hours? Because I was just in there for half an hour, because you mentioned about when you're doing your connections, going for half an hour, 15 minutes, half an hour. So I did that, but then afterwards I was thinking, oh, should I have stayed there till 2 o'clock? So you can dip in and out when it's convenient. Yeah. Okay.
We're all business owners, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we've got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So,
I appreciate that, actually. Yeah.
I think the whole point of it is that there is a networking factor. So the people that stay there for the whole time, I can guarantee you they get more people commenting and liking on their stuff, and they build the connections, and those it doesn't just happen on the Tuesday. What happens is the people that you start to connect with and see, they'll pop up into your feed the next couple of days, and then suddenly you're now getting even more people that will like and comment your stuff on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, because you're building that kind of power
Right.
team within it. So that's the benefit of doing this that way. But the danger is spending way too much time there and then thinking, correctly, I've got nothing else done. So half an hour, give enough that you'll give, and therefore you shall receive.
Right.
If you post and go, people will see it and they will understand. But so that's why we do it. So stretch each other's backs, but don't overextend.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks for your time. And
No
thanks for
worries.
today as well.
Absolute pleasure. Right, guys, we'll forward the recording. We'll forward all the links that we talked to you guys. If I'm seeing you on a LinkedIn profile audit, excited to talk about your business. If I'm not and seeing you, if I'm not seeing you on one of those, then I'll see you next week. Same time, same place. Big love. Take care. $1 Million Sprinters. I'm going to close this and then I'm going to go on and reopen it. So we got our call now. But other than that,